Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with the free pick in the Rockets versus Jazz NBA matchup on Saturday, January 20th, 2024. Of course, if you like all our free picks at Pickdawgz, you'll love our premium picks, our best bets. Use the discount code PICK, get 15% off. We also have Dime Club and Sharp Trading Plays. These are meant for people who make big bets. If that's you, go ahead and text the number you see on the screen. They're not available on the website. But let's get to this one. We've got the Rockets taking on the Jazz. The Rockets certainly opened the season very, very strong. And, as we started to move towards the halfway point, which is where we are right now, we saw the Rockets start to tail off. And a lot of that has to do with a lack of depth. The Rockets, a really solid defensive team. But the thing about defense is it requires a lot of effort. And when you don't have the depth, well, your guys get worn down, and that's what we've seen from the Rockets. So I think this is a team headed in the right direction, but a team that probably not quite there yet, maybe a year away. Meanwhile, we look at the Utah Jazz. This team been one of the best teams in the NBA since the early part of the season, but on the road, not so much. 7-15 straight up, 10-12 against the number. 8-2 in their last 10 games, but the bulk of those games were at home, and we saw last time out against the OKC Thunder, not so pretty in that one. When the streak comes to an end, usually it ends ugly, and the Thunder made sure of that against the Jazz, taking care of them in Utah to end that home winning streak. 134, 129 in a game that the Jazz were actually home dogs despite running off all those wins, and a lot of those wins against good teams. They had won on the road prior to that too. So while we sit here and talk about how good the Jazz are at home, they also beat the Sixers and the Bucks on the road. The Sixers were without Embiid in that game, but still it's the Sixers and the Bucks on the road, and then came back home and did all that stuff. So the Jazz, I think despite being known as just a home team, they're also a team kind of headed in the right direction. Well, when we look at the Rockets, losses against the Celtics, Sixers, and Knicks, all those on the road. The win against the Pistons, loss against the Bulls and the Heat, all those on the road. Win against the Bucks at home, loss to the Timberwolves. So wins against the winnable teams, the Pistons and the Nets, losses against the tougher teams. And, I think that's just what we're starting to see from this Rocket squad. And certainly nothing wrong with it considering where they're coming from, a team that's been drafting near the top of the NBA draft in recent years. The Rockets' defensive numbers are off the chart still. They're still a top 3 to 5 team in every defensive category. And that's because the body of work, though, not so much to what they've done recently. When we look at the Rockets offense, their three-point shooting just isn't holding up against, the better teams. And also, their overall shooting in general just doesn't keep them in it against, like I said, the better teams. I think while the Jazz get a lot of ink for being a good home team, I think they're actually just a good team. I think they're the better team in this one. I'm going to take the Jazz, and that's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks, putting your bets in, be sure to use our free betting tools at sportschatplace.com. They're 100% free, and they'll help put you on the most favorable bets on the board today.